Test, 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 test. Greg, you want to practice your camera work? Josiah, where are my slides? How about the announcements? That's on you. All right, Jojo, are we ready? Welcome, sixth graders. I see that we all like sitting in the middle of the room. It's very wonderful that you're all sitting over here and over here, social distancing at its finest. Welcome to Wednesday night. We are almost working our way through April here. It's almost May. Are you guys excited? Yeah. Do you like summertime? Yeah. Yes, no? How many people like winter the best? Hey, there's a couple. That group back there likes winter. All right, we're going to start tonight. We have a few announcements. So, Josiah, is there a video we're going to play about a special event that's coming up shortly? Let's roll it.
Introducing
the Game Plan! It only costs $5 to come. It's for 5th, 6th, and 7th graders!
We'd love to see you on Friday, April 30th at 7 to 9 p.m.
Hey, foul!
And the best part is there's free concessions.
And there's gonna be games.
And a game-changing message. And don't forget to bring your team. My team! Yeah!
All right, so on on Friday, April 30th, which is not too long from now, that's next week, there is an event. We have not had a lot of events this year, so it's exciting to be able to have an event coming up. $5, games, food, fun. There will be a message. It's put on by our 8th grade leadership team. They would love to have all of you come out and have some fun, because that's one thing that we want to start bringing back. We want to start having some fun. So it would be great if you guys could come. I believe it started at 7 o'clock. Is that right, Josiah? Yes, so that'd be a great opportunity. Another announcement is prayer partners. How many people have a prayer partner or have had a prayer partner in the past? All right, I see quite a few hands out there. If you don't have a prayer partner, or you do have a prayer partner, this is a wonderful opportunity to have a wonderful adult in our church be able to pray for you on a regular basis. So if that is something that you are interested in, you can see any of our ministry leaders, and they can give you more information on it, or is there probably information on the Constance website, and things like that. So this is a great opportunity for you to have a adult at Constance just be that prayer partner for you. It's a wonderful, awesome opportunity. And any of those people that raise their hand, they might be able to talk to you a little bit about it too. So if you saw somebody close to you that's in your small group that raised their hand, you might want to ask them about it also. All right, any other announcements, Josiah? Thank you. I remember to do it. All right. All right, we are starting a brand new series tonight. It is called Upside Down. Okay, this is all about, we've been doing a lot of talking the last few weeks about the Old Testament and stories from the Old Testament. We are jumping now into the New Testament. And if you know anything about the Bible, the New Testament is in the second half of the Bible. And it starts and talks about when there was a very, very significant fella that came into the scene in the Bible. His name is Jesus. Okay? And so over the next few weeks, we are going to talk about Jesus and the impact he had on many people's lives in the New Testament, but number one, the impact he has in our lives. And the biggest thing we're going to learn about is what does it mean to live upside down? And how crazy that sounds. Because living upside down is different than living the way the world wants us to live. So that's going to be our theme for this week, the following week, and then the week following. So the next 3 weeks, we're going to just learn what it means to live the life that Jesus wants us to live and learn from examples that Jesus gave us in living a life upside down. So our theme this week is when you live upside down, you put other people first before you. So that is our theme, and that's what we're going to talk about tonight. But should we have some fun first? Do you want to play a game? Did I hear a no? No, I didn't hear any no's. All right, we're going to play a game called Odd or Even. Okay? It uses some math. I'm sorry. Oh, boo. All right, so here's how this game works. You are going to get in a group of 2, and if it is a group of 3, that's okay too. But you are going to stay somewhat socially distanced. You don't have to stand right next to them. But you, when I count down from 3, I'm going to go 3, 2, 1. You're going to hold up out in front of you either 1 finger, 2 fingers, 3 fingers, 4 fingers, or 5 fingers. The person that you are partner up with is also going to hold 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then once you hold those fingers up, you are going to add the total number of fingers. So if I held 3 fingers up and the person I'm going against holds 4 fingers up, what does that add up to? 7. Is that an odd or even number? That is an odd number. Now, here's how you determine who wins between the two of you. One of you is going to say odd or even. So if that person who determines or says even and the number is odd, that person loses. Okay? If that person says odd and the number was 7, that person wins. I said 4 plus 3. I said 4 plus 3. Okay? All right, so do you make sense how that works? All right, so how do we determine who is going to call out odd or even? You're going to have to actually talk to someone. Sorry, it might be someone you don't know. Oh, we're going to actually build community and build relationships. Oh, scary, isn't it? So, when you get a partner, the first round's probably going to be pretty easy because you're pretty close to your small groups. You're probably actually going to have to talk to someone you know. So, here's what you're going to do. You're going to get a partner. You're going to say, hi, my name is Derek. My birthday is March 7th. That's all you have to say. Now, here is what you're going to have to figure out. Whoever's birthday is closest to today gets to be the person who chooses odd or even. Okay? Does everyone get how that works? You introduce yourself to the person you partner up with. You say when your birthday is, and then whoever's birthday is closest to today is the one who chooses odd or even. Now, when I count down from 3, 2, 1, and you hold your fingers out, whoever wins stays standing. Whoever loses goes back to their seat. And then we go on to round 2, and you find a new partner. Now, like I said, if we have an odd number of people, you can be in a group of 3. If you are in a group of 3, it's the same thing. You all introduce each other. Whoever's birthday is the closest says odd or even. If you're in a group of 3, how many winners are there? 1. How many losers are there? 2. Does that make sense? All right, I'm going to give you 10 seconds to find a partner. Go. Leaders, you can play 2. Leaders, you can play 2. Make sure everyone has someone to go against. If you're in a group of 3, you can split off into a group of 2 because Sarah over here doesn't have a partner. All right, you have 3 seconds to find a partner. 3, 2, 1, find a partner. All right, does everyone know who is calling odd or even? All right, is everyone declared? Okay, everyone say, make sure you clear it. Make sure it's very clear. Odd or even? Okay, here we go. On the count of 3, you are going to go 1, 2, 3, or 5 on your one hand. Not 2 hands, just one hand. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, show. Add them up. Add them up. Add your fingers up. If you got it right, if it was odd or even, remember, if you declared it and it's right, you win. If it's wrong, you lose. Winners stay standing, losers sit down. Okay, winners, find a new partner, introduce yourself. Winners, find a new partner, introduce yourself. Okay, it should only take 1 round. Why are you all still standing?
Well, I played against one of them.
Oh, okay, winners, find a new partner. Introduce yourself. Figure out who is odd or even. Remember, closest birthday. Here we go. Round number 2 is starting now. Round number 2. Here we go. Round number 2. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, go. All right, winners stay standing, losers sit down. Winners stay standing, losers sit down. Winners, find a new partner. Winners, find a new partner. I don't know, I'm waiting until there's a little less. How many people we have left? Okay, we'll do one more round and then winners are gonna come to the stage. Okay, introduce yourself, tell your birthdays. Okay, declare odd or even. Declare odd or even. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, go. All right, losers sit down. Winners come to the stage. Winners come to the stage. All right, stand up here on the stage behind me. All winners, stand up here on the stage behind me. How many we got? We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, you 2 are together, you 2 are together, you 2 are together. All right, introduce yourselves, tell your birthdays. All right, declare odd or even, whoever's closest to the birthday. Not yet. Is everyone declared? All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1, go. Add it up. If you won, stay. If you lost, go sit down. All right, we're down to the final 3. This is our last round. All right, what is your name?
Matthew.
Matthew? Olivia? Isaac. All right, we have Matthew, Olivia, and Isaac. We are doing 1 round. You get to choose, odd or even. Odd, all right? So if it is odd, she wins. If it's even, you guys go to the next round. All right? This is very tense. This is very, very intense. Are you guys ready? And we're going to make it very complicated this time. You guys are going to use both hands this time. Both hands. Whoa, that's big number counting here. Are you ready? 3, 2, 1, go. All right, we have 9 plus, what is that, 6 plus 5. What's 9 plus 6 plus 5? 19? You think so. 9 plus 6 plus 5 is 20. What did you say? Yes, you said odd. You lose, I'm sorry. And we have another round. All right. You are going to choose odd or even. Even. You're going to do both hands again. Final round. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, go. All right, we have 7 and we have 6. That's 13. What did you say? You said odd? You said odd or you said even? You said even. Yeah, you lose now. You are the winner. We have a winner. What's your name again? Matthew is our winner. Congratulations. All right, give him a hand. No, that's a one-round game. Thank you. All right, that was a lot of fun. All right. Thank you, Matthew. Thank you for all of you that participated, and thank you for doing a little bit math. Okay? All right, so, like I said, we are going to talk about what it means to be upside down living. And part of this series and part of tonight is how we treat others. Are we treating them better than ourselves? Are we treating them before ourselves? And are we putting others first? Now, you've always heard this maybe in Awana. You've heard it from your parents. You've heard it from others. And so I'm going to really kind of fine-tune it a little bit because when we think about how we treat others, sometimes it's just too big. It's like, so everybody I walk by, I'm supposed to treat them better, and that's just overwhelming sometimes for a 6th grader. So we're going to fine-tune it, and I want you to really think about one group of people that you can really probably treat better than you do. And that group of people are the group of people that you hang out probably with the most. And the people that you probably think you care about the most. And the people that you really, as a 6th grader and a 7th grader and 8th grader, probably lift up and really look up to the most. Who would those people be? Yes, your friends. So how are you really treating your friends? And we're going to talk about tonight about how Jesus treated his friends. And you can actually go to the next slide, Josiah, and how he dealt with his friends in all parts of his life. So I want you to think, what are some great qualities of a good friend? And just yell out some words. What do you think are some great qualities? If you thought of a good friend, what are some good qualities? Yes. Athletic. So you want somebody that's athletic. Yes. What'd you say? I couldn't. Say it again. Okay, cool. Yes. Kind. Somebody from over here. Any qualities of a good friend over here? Yes. Loving. Perseverance. Funny. Okay. One more. Right here. Honest. Okay, all good qualities. Okay. Some other things. Okay, you guys said have fun. Maybe they would rather give. They're giving. Okay. They're trustworthy. They're supportive. They empathize with you. Okay. They share your feelings. Another one that's really, really difficult that the Bible calls us to be with our friends is not be judgmental. That's a tough one these days. Sometimes we tend to be really, really judgmental. Okay, all great qualities of a good friend. Now, we also have some myths. Sometimes we put so much pressure and so much stock in friendships that we think that these friendships are going to do something amazing for us. But do friends ultimately, will they make you happy all the time? No. From time to time, you'll have joy just hanging out with your friends, but lots of times they're going to disappoint you. They're not going to bring you ultimate happiness. Is it true that the more quantity, I have a lot of friends on social media or a lot of friends that I hang out with, if my crew is large, that means I have better friends? No, but too many times we think that. If I could just have 1,000 friends on Instacart, I know, I mean, it's not FaceSnap? No. I'm an old guy. There's too many social media platforms. All right, if I can have a ton of friends, that makes it better? No. Does a good friend ever let you down? At times it can happen, can it? Okay? Is it easy to be a good friend? No, sometimes it's hard. Sometimes things just don't go the way they're supposed to go. Sometimes friends just let you down, and you have to work at it. If you have a lot of friends, and even good friends, does that mean you'll never be lonely again? No, there's times where they're just not there. There's just times when friends, there's still that loneliness that can creep in. Does social media bring all your friends closer to you? No, it doesn't. We may seem that sometimes. It may seem like, hey, when Facebook first came out, yeah, it connected a lot of people. When Instagram first came out, it connected a lot of us, and it seemed like we were connected closer and closer. But then we realized that, yeah, I can connect, but I'm not really connected. Because there's just this interaction that you guys can maybe have in your small group that's just different to be in person. So tonight we're going to learn about a story about how Jesus dealt with his friends and what it means to be a good friend. So in about 3 seconds, we're going to roll the video. Guys in the back, are you guys ready? Anytime you guys are ready.
I will never forget the first day of my freshman year of high school. Why? Because Taylor Swift was there and did this incredible welcome back to school concert. Totally kidding. The reason why I'll never forget my first day of my freshman year was because I was the new kid. Have you ever been the new kid? It was so nerve-wracking and embarrassing. Everyone was kind of grouped off and I knew no one. In fact, for the first 4 days of school, I ate lunch all by myself. So awkward when your best friend is your lunch. And I didn't even have a cell phone yet, so I couldn't have a fake conversation or pretend like I was texting. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. It's kind of funny now to think about it, but I remember the one thing I really needed in that moment was a friend, someone who knew me.
We all want at least one friend who really knows and understands us, don't we? Of course you do. You want to know there's at least one person who likes you, who can make you laugh, who smiles when they see you in the hallways at school. And it's even better when that person is your friend, even though they know all about that really lame hairstyle you had in 5th grade, or that time you face planted in public, or the year that you were super into that weird band that you're now totally embarrassed about. We all want at least one friend who knows everything about us and still likes us anyway.
Now, I don't know about you, but when I was in middle school, it felt like friendship was really difficult to find, especially when life was crazy and my friends and I were all changing so quickly. In middle school, it's hard to find friends who will really be there for you through thick and thin, who will have your back when life is hard, and who will love you no matter what. It's hard, but it's usually not impossible. So how do we find friends like that?
Have you ever heard the old saying, if you want to have a friend, be a friend? I think there's something to that. Maybe if we want friends who truly know us and have our backs no matter what, we should try being that kind of friend to others. It's a little upside down from our usual way of doing things, isn't it? I mean, it's a lot easier to not put in the effort and instead to sit back and just wait for awesome friends to magically appear.
That's because being a great friend is kind of hard, even harder than finding a good friend. It takes time and effort, and it requires you to actually be nice and care about people. It would be way easier if getting friends was like getting new shoes. Getting new shoes is pretty easy. You find a store, you choose the exact shoes you want, and then you buy them. The shoes are perfect, they're exactly what you wanted, and they're yours. They'll do exactly what you say, like, hey shoes, go on my feet and stay there.
When you're looking for new shoes, your needs and desires are all that matter. If a pair doesn't fit, or they're not the right color, or they make your feet hurt a little, all you have to do is choose a different pair. But friends are a little more complicated. You just can't go get new friends like you can get new shoes.
If you think about friends the way you think about shoes, where you judge potential friends based solely on your needs, your desires, and what they can do for you, it's probably not going to work out very well. In fact, this attitude could actually destroy your opportunity to develop great friendships. Because if you want to find great friends, you can't treat people like you treat a pair of shoes.
Today we're starting a new series called Upside Down, where we're going to learn some pretty important things from Jesus, like how to get great friends. But you know what's interesting? When we read about Jesus, we see over and over again that he's always seemed to have a completely different point of view on just about everything. It's like he took our normal ways of looking at the world and turned them all upside down, including the way we look at friendships.
Jesus knew a lot about friendship. He had a group of 12 close friends who were known as his disciples. They were the people Jesus spent most of his time with. Now, Jesus was obviously the leader of the group. So you might think that Jesus, as the leader, would have been perfectly okay with his disciples helping him and doing all the stuff for him all the time, right? I mean, I think I would have. But Jesus didn't do that. He actually saw his friends in what I think is a completely upside down kind of way.
Check out what Jesus did in a story we read about in John 13. First, let me give you a little context. In this story, Jesus was having dinner with his disciples, but to Jesus, it was no ordinary dinner. It was the last dinner he'd ever have with his friends before he was publicly executed. Jesus knew, but his disciples had no idea. I can't even imagine the anxiety and emotions Jesus must have felt knowing that he would soon be arrested, beaten, and put to death. If anyone needed some emotional support from their friends, it was Jesus. If anyone needed to feel like they had friends they could rely on, it was Jesus. But in Jesus' moment of greatest need, he did something pretty upside down.
The evening meal was in progress, and the devil had already prompted Judas, the son of Simon Iscariot, to betray Jesus. Jesus knew that the Father had put all things under his power, and that he had come from God and was returning to God. So he got up from the meal, took off his outer clothing, and wrapped a towel around his waist. After that, he poured water into a basin and began to wash his disciples' feet, drying them with the towel that was wrapped around him. Can you imagine this scene? In a moment when Jesus needed and deserved the concern, attention, and comfort of his friends, he wrapped a towel around his waist, knelt down, and served his friends by washing their dirty, disgusting feet. And not only did he wash their nasty feet, he washed their feet knowing that in just a few hours, those very feet would run away and desert him when he needed them most. Wow. I don't know about you, but I don't think I would have done that. So often I'm too preoccupied with my own needs to think about doing something kind for others, even for my friends. But Jesus did it. He chose humility. He put other people first.
In that moment, Jesus demonstrated what true friendship looks like. At first glance, it seems a little upside down. It's natural to put ourselves first, to treat our friends like we treat a pair of shoes. But true friendship is about caring more that their needs are being met than you are that your needs are being met. It's about being focused on others, even when you want them to focus on you. It's about having their back, even when they don't have yours. And it's about loving them, even though you know they're not perfect, because that's true friendship. And maybe it seems like a strange way to live, but that's what following Jesus is like sometimes. He's called us to live so differently from the rest of the world that maybe it will sometimes seem like you're living upside down. And that's a good thing, because when you live upside down, you put other people first.
So how do you put your friends first? Number one, you pay attention. You put your friends first when you get to know who they really are, what they love, what they fear, what hurts them, or what makes them happy. Because when you pay more attention, I think you'll find new ways to be a better friend.
And number two, You show up. When your friends need support, be the first to call. When they're sad, feel that pain with them and remind them that you're there. When they're happy, celebrate with them. Show up and keep showing up.
I want you to think about your friends. Go ahead. I want you to picture them in your mind. What would it look like to have the kind of upside down attitude toward your friends that Jesus had toward his? Maybe you shouldn't try to wash your friends' feet, but what would it look like to serve them, to encourage them, to cheer them on, to have their back, and to choose to love them no matter what?
We all want to have great friends, but we don't get great friends by treating people like shoes. We get great friendships when we decide to be great friends, to lay down our pride, and to care more for the needs of our friends than we do for ourselves. Because remember, when you live upside down, you put other people first.
All right. You can go to the next slide, Josiah. So, when you think about that, that's something we all want. We want at least one friend that knows everything about us and still likes us anyways. And that's who Jesus was to the disciples. He knew everything about those disciples, and it didn't matter. He loved them anyways and did everything for them that he could to serve them. And that's the kind of friend that we want for us and we need to be for others. Just imagine having a friend that when we mess up or when we're having a bad day or we're having a good day is right there by us no matter what and loves us or likes us anyways. But are we that friend to them? That's what we're going to talk about. So, if you go to the next slide, Josiah, Jesus was just always the best example what true friendship looks like. In that story, Jesus was at the Last Supper. He knew it. He knew that this was it. This is the last time he was going to be hanging out with his disciples who had been there through thick and thin with him. He was anguishing inside, knowing that he was about to be arrested, beaten, and hung on a cross to die. But instead of just sitting there and pouting and being sad, he said, "How can I serve you?" And that's the type of friend that he wanted to show the world. That's what it means, that no matter what we're going through, of having that heart of humility and compassion towards others. Jesus has called us to live so differently from the rest of the world because that's what upside down living is. Putting others first, demonstrating what true friendship looks like, and all these things are good things because it makes your friendship so strong and so solid, but so upside down. Because the rest of the world is all about me, 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 me. And how wonderful is it to have a friendship that's about how can I be there for you? That in return, your friends are going to say, hey, when you're down, I'm there for you too. That's what Jesus is calling us to do. So, they talked about how do you put this into action? How do you do this? And I love just these two simple things for you to think about. Just keep it simple. Pay attention to your friends. Pay attention to them. Know when they're not doing well. Know when they're having a great time. Know what they like to do. Pay attention. So many times, it's right in our face when something's not going right. And it's right in our face when things are going well. It's so obvious, and yet we are just blind. We just don't see it because we are so focused on ourselves. And this is what putting others first is just paying attention. That's it. It's so simple, so easy, is just to take a breath and look around. What is going on outside of me? It's so easy to say, I wonder how my friend is doing. And seeing that, whether it's at school, whether it's even on social media, paying attention to some of the words or some of the things they are doing, just seeing that and seeing it when their things are going well or things are going bad, or even if you haven't heard from them in a while, just reaching out and saying and paying attention. And then the second thing is just then showing up. And not just saying, I just don't feel like doing that. It's not me today. Being there is what is so important, because that's what Jesus calls us to do. Showing up, going that extra little mile to saying, I'm here for you. What do you need from me? I can do this. You're my friend. It's so easy. Sometimes it can just be a kind word. Sometimes it can just be a kind gesture. Sometimes it's bigger than that. Sometimes you just need to listen. They just need to talk, and you just need to listen. And that's it. Those two easy things can make such a big difference in a friendship. So, question is, how are you treating your friends? Are you able to pay attention? Are you able to show up for them? Or is your life too me-centered? Are you too centered on what's going on in your own life to not open up your eyes like Jesus did and like Jesus calls us to do? So I have a story of an example what it could mean like to pay attention. And I'm going to read this from the perspective of this person. So this isn't me. This is just the story of how it's written. One day when I was a freshman in high school, I saw a kid from my class walking home from school. His name was Kyle. It looked like he was carrying all his books. I thought to myself, why would anyone bring home all his books on a Friday? He must be a real nerd. I had quite a weekend planned. Parties, a football game with my friends tomorrow afternoon, so I shrugged my shoulders and went on. As I was walking, I saw a bunch of kids running towards them. They ran away. Oops. All right. Let's see. There we go. Let's see. All right. They ran away. As I was walking, they ran away, knocking all the books out of his arms and tripping him, so he landed in the dirt. His glasses went flying, and I saw them land in the grass about 10 feet from him. He looked up, and I saw this terrible sadness in his eyes. My heart went out for him, so I jogged over to him, and as he crawled around looking for his glasses, I saw a tear in his eye. As I handed him his glasses, I said, "Those guys are awful. They really should just get lives." And he looked at me and said, "Thanks." There was a big smile on his face, and it was one of those smiles that really showed gratitude. I helped him pick up his books, asked him where he lived, and as it turned out, he lived really close to me. So I asked him why I had never seen him before. He said he had gone to a private school before now and I had never hung out with any private school kids before. We talked all the way home, and I carried his books. He turned out to be a pretty cool kid. I asked him if he wanted to play football on Saturday with me and my friends. He said yes. We hung out all weekend, and the more I got to know Kyle, the more I liked him. And my friends thought the same of him. Monday morning came, and there was Kyle with a huge stack of books again. I stopped him and said, "Boy, you're going to really make some serious muscles with those pile of books every day." He laughed and handed me half the books. Over the next 4 years, Kyle and I became best friends. When we were seniors, we began to think about college. Kyle decided to go to Georgetown, and I was going to Duke. I knew that we would always be friends, that the smiles would never be broken, never be a problem, that smiles would never be a problem. He was going to be a doctor, and I was going for business on a football scholarship. Kyle was the valedictorian of our class. I teased him about being a nerd, and he had to prepare a speech for graduation. I was so glad it wasn't me having to get up there and speak. Graduation day, I saw Kyle. He looked great. He was one of those guys that really found himself during high school. He filled out and actually looked good in glasses. He had more dates than me, and all the girls loved him. Boy, sometimes I was jealous. Today was one of those days. I could see him. He was nervous, all about his speech. So I smacked him on the back and said, "Hey, big guy, you'll do great." He looked at me with one of those looks, the real grateful one, and smiled and said thanks. As he started the speech, he cleared his throat and began. Graduation is a time to thank those who helped me make it through those tough years. Your parents, your teachers, your siblings, maybe a coach, but mostly your friends. I'm here to tell you that being a friend to someone is the best gift you can give to them. I'm going to tell you a story. I just looked at my friend with disbelief as he told the story the first day we met. He had planned to kill himself over that weekend. He had talked about how he'd cleaned out his locker so his mom wouldn't have to do it later, and he was carrying his stuff home. He looked hard at me and gave me a smile. Thankfully, I was saved. My friend saved me from doing the unspeakable. I heard a gasp with the crowd as this handsome, popular boy told us about his weakest moment. I saw his mom and dad look at me and smiling with a grateful smile. Not until that moment did I realize the depth and never underestimate the power of your actions. With one small gesture, you can change a person's life. For better or worse, God puts all of us in each other's life to impact another in some way. Look for God in others. Look for an opportunity to pay attention to what's going on around you. So just imagine there are people all around us. Pay attention and show up for them because you never know what they're going through. Let's pray. Dear Heavenly Father, you put people in our lives all the time. Just help us open our eyes. Just help us see the friends in our lives and that we can put their needs before ours and just pay attention and just show up for them. Just be with these students as we go on through this week and just that we can learn from your life, Jesus, that the example you set is just an awesome example. You never pray. Amen. All right, we got a short music video to watch, and then we're going to head out to our small groups.
I don't wanna be on my phone, but I can't be alone. Welcome to the modern week. Trying to be somebody I'm not, but it's not what I want. Tell me there's another way. All of the lights are chased and now faded. All the cheap thrills were only time wasted. Tell me why society's plans should define who I am. Show me there's a highway. All of my best friends are sick of pretending. We want the truth. So much is missing, so give us the real thing. I know it's you. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. And I don't want a stereotype to decide who I am. They never knew me anyway. I'm over trying to find the next high, cause the high never lasts. I'ma go another way. All of the lights are chased and now faded. Doing what's right, the times they are changing. Tell me why society's plans should define